All right, we are live. All right, we're going to talk about the 21-17 season. We're getting to the playoffs scenario. Howie, C-Max, and Grim is on. We're expecting Red Zone to show up. Maybe Quick might show up. And I want to start off with Howie's team. I know Howie last season he was busy with other things, but he turned his team around at 9-2, 284 points per game. I mean, for the season, and 172 points they've allowed on his defense. Howie, you want to tell us about your team and what you did?
Uh, I got a new quarterback. That was really the only big thing that the big change that I made. I just kind of upgraded my quarterback, who has done exactly what I want him to do. He's not turning the ball over. He's starting to throw touchdown passes now. I think he had 3 last game, so that's good. Um, Richardson has been running well in the twilight of his career. I don't think he has 2 more seasons left, so I think Maze's records are safe. And my defense is just playing lights out.
Yeah, to rank
I
one in points allowed,
Yeah,
15.6. Wow.
Yeah, your defense is killing it.
yeah. So
Well,
my
did you find yourself having more time than you thought you would?
oh no,
No? Okay. I was
no,
wondering if that was it, because I know you were talking with me saying you're going to be fucked this season because you're going to be so busy. So,
no. I found 3 offensive game plans that have been successful over the last 3 years, and I just saved them so that I could easily just kind of plug and play.
sweet.
And then I've got 2 defensive game plans that I'm running. I'll have a third one that I'm going to break out against Ben. Um, so that's been it. And I've just been I log on, I check the injuries, I adjust the jet depth charts a little bit, but I think I put in all the work to game plan a couple of seasons ago and got a couple of good game plans. So I'm just rolling with those. They work.
Yeah, McDaniel's been doing well for you. 10 sacks,
Yeah.
12 hurries, 8 knockdowns.
Yep.
At,
He
eight,
has been he's been playing well.
at age 32, which is good that you're getting production out of him. I like that. Yeah, well, you turn your team around. And I know you got Cap City, who's the thorn in your side. You feel like, yes,
Oh yeah.
I saw that
Well, I
Yeah.
was I was like, oh hey, I'm this was my thought, and I honest to God, I woke up right. I was like, okay, if I win this game, he's playing Tucker. He's going to lose that one. That's going to give me one more thing of separation. So I look and I say, oh, I won my game. Great. Let's see how bad he lost to Tucker. Oh shit, he fucking won. God damn it.
Post.
That's
Yep, he's been
great.
staying on. He's won 5 straight. So,
Yeah. And I went last season. I started the season shot out of the cannon. I think I was like 5-0, 5-1, and then the wheels just kind of fell off the bus. And it was the quarterback that I had, who I just wanted to be a game manager, was actively losing me games. He threw a couple of pick sixes, which cost me close games. So, going into the offseason, the one thing I said is, hey, I got to get a quarterback that's not gonna throw, not gonna throw games away for me. Um, I think Grim, you called him a wee little man when I traded for him because
yes,
he's
yes.
5'9".
Yes.
So, I'm not expecting great things from him. He's not going to go out there and he's not going to throw 350 yards a game and throw for 5 touchdowns, but he's doing what I want him to do.
Yeah, and at this point, anytime I make fun of a small guy, he's just going to prove me wrong. So, it just seems to be happening more. Bolitnikov, Donaldson. I think there's another guy that was doing okay that I made fun of, but
You want to
Well,
make fun of some of my guys, please?
you're doing
Gotta have some
fine.
shorties somewhere.
Winning the division. So,
Hey, look at that.
we-
Kennedy Toth, he's only 5'8". Give him some grief.
before we get to you on C-Max, I wanted to talk to about Grimm and Quick. And we can start with Quick's team really quick about his quarterback. just as sides, because I want to talk about teams that will get to the playoffs and who do we think might get to the playoffs. However, I posted this question: are bars overrated in our league when you have a quarterback who's doing this? And then I'm gonna get up Grimm's team as well, because Grimm has a quarterback that's doing very well as well, and a running back. But let's start with Quick. So here's his quarterback. He's got a quarterback rating of a 92. He's got 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. You guys have anything on this?
Well, I don't think bars are overrated. I think there's just some guys, I don't know, have an X factor or just, I don't know, outperform their bars if they're in the right system. I don't know what it is, but I don't think bars are overrated because I don't think most people would be able to do what Quick's doing with that dude.
Anyone else?
No, I mean,
No,
T-Zac posted in there today about this guy, and it's, Cheese winning in spite of him and not the other way around. He said newer FOF players don't try this at home. So this is he is a 3 chemistry guy. He's got affinities with all 3 of his leaders, I believe. And I think that and some dice rolls is what's getting this guy by. And that'd probably be the same thing for me. I mean, I know when I started my Chelly, my passing cohesion went pretty far up because he's been there, 9 years, and he's got all 3 affinities. So I think for the quarterbacks, despite their low bars, they're getting it done with just those affinities.
All right. And I saw T-Zac's post on that. And he was saying that Quick's team's getting it done besides the quarterback doing his job. But if that's the case, then why didn't Humphrey do that? Why is he getting a production like that out of Humphrey? If the team is winning in spite of this quarterback.
And I don't think that that's accurate to say that the team's winning in spite of the quarterback. I mean, the guy's got, 2,000 yards. He's, what is he, like 65% completion and 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. I mean, he's not hindering the team. They're not winning in spite of him. I mean, he's helping them.
I agree. And look at Grimm's.
Same with Michelli.
Yeah. He's got 12 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, quarterback rating of 104, attempts 7.34 yards per attempt. That was great.
Yeah, obviously, Grimm's had struggles with Michelli in the past. I mean, that's why he's not re-signed, and that's why he didn't start the season as a starter. But apparently, he just found a game plan that works for him, or maybe all the stars aligned, and the cohesion and chemistry kicked in. But again, he's not winning in spite of him. Michelli, whatever you want to call him, is actually helping him.
And that's what I was getting to. What you just mentioned, C-Max. They found a game plan that works for players like this.
Yep. At
the end of the day. And that's the most important part. And that's what I wanted to get to. And that's why I was saying, are bars really that important? Which they are. But if you can find a game plan to put together for players like this, then you can find gems to work with your team if they work in your system. The other player, what's his name, Grimm has, is his running back right here.
Oh, Pritchett,
where is he? Here he is. He came in for, what's his name, Worcestershire?
Yep. Worcestershire,
yeah. And no hole recognition, 18. Right? Elusiveness, which I know a lot of people don't like. It's at 79. And look at his numbers.
So while he's far away from what Worcester was doing before he got injured, but
he's like 1.5 yards less per carry than Worcester, but still 4.5 for a guy like this is pretty impressive. Yeah, so, I think that's more of his offensive line.
So elusiveness, right? This guy, if you look at some of his games, I think this last game, he had a 30-yarder, a 29-yarder, a 25-yarder, and then all the rest of his shit was just 2 yards, 3 yards, -2, -3, 1 yard, 2 yards. Then he'll rip off a 35-er, and then it's 2 yards. Then it's 1 yard. Then it's 3 yards. And then he'll rip off a freaking, So that's the elusiveness coming into play and the lack of hole recognition, because if you take away like T-Zac was talking in the forums before. You go in and look at somebody's running game, you take away their 3 biggest runs and look at the average of that. This guy's fucking terrible if you take away his 3 biggest runs every game. So
he can't find the hole, but if he happens to stumble into it, he's gone.
Yep, he's gone. He'll, make a move and make someone miss and take off for yards. So,
Okay.
and then, he's not ever breaking long touchdowns because that breakaway speed's only 55. But I think that's what's doing it for him. And my O-line cohesion's pretty good. I don't have the best run blocking guys, but the cohesion's there. The affinities are there.
They're smart.
Yeah, they're smart. And this guy's he's just making some plays.
But the idea is that you can make it work with players like this if you have a line to do it and you have a good game plan and you can make it work. Instead of just saying, I'm never going to pick up this guy because I can never make him work. The fact is, it is happening. And it's also happening with the quarterbacks. Other people will never pick up a quarterback like this. Or the one that Quick has, because they would think he doesn't have the bars to win the games. But if you have a game plan for him, you can.
Yeah, we talked about, pull back up Quick's guy.
I'm doing it right now. Go ahead.
And, I mean, if you look at Michelli's bars, his rating should be much better than 19. It technically should be better than, Richie Diagamo. If you look at if you compare the bars, I got so many more bars higher than Diagamo, yet he's rated higher. So that's, I think, one of those things we talked about where Michelli is actually worse than he should be, according to his bars.
Because of his interception avoidance.
I would guess. I mean, currently it's sitting at 2.8.
Yet he only has 3.
But you would think that with, like I said, with Michelli having so many more bars than Diagamo, that he should be rated higher, and he's just not. Yeah. So, he's one of those guys that, again, is a worse quarterback than his bars are saying he is.
But you guys put together a plan for these quarterbacks, and they're working. You have other players who have good quarterbacks on their team, doesn't get this production out of them.
Yeah, I think game plans and how you utilize the players that you have make a huge difference. And if you're just, throwing people in, or I don't know how many people actually do it, but if you were to Rex your depth chart, I mean, that'd be a mess. And if you're Rexing game plans and not planning out who's going to get what routes based on what their strengths are, you're not going to have success. But I know Quick, he knows his players. He knows what works. He's probably used the same game plan for 10 seasons now.
Yeah,
Grimmer, he puts a lot of time and effort into looking at his team and figuring out what they're good at. So I think, a lot of it has to do with just how much effort you're willing to put in.
I agree. And that's why I wanted to do a talk about this for other people to see that, if you put together a good game plan, you have the right people around these players, you can make these players work if they have things or bars in a certain spot that works for your team.
Yep. And I got to give some credit to Jugs. So last year when Worcester got injured, I just, was talking with him and Chris and just going, fuck, man, I'm fucked. I can't. And Jugs just said, no, dude, leave in the same game plan. Just run the fucking ball like you're going to do. I bet you this guy can do something. I'm like, I don't think he could do it. And the first game that he started last season wasn't that great. But after that, 100 yards every fucking game he played. I'm like, what in the fuck is this guy doing? So credit to Jugs there for telling me last year to keep the guy in and gave me some, what's the word am I looking for?
Advice?
Some proof that he could do it again this year if Worcester went out. I mean, I was hoping that Worcester wouldn't go out this year, but yeah, this is what we're dealing with, and so far he's playing okay.
Mm-hmm. I like that. I like seeing players like this do well. To know that you can pick up players and just game plan the right way to get them to work if you need them. Your quarterback went down, you put this guy in, and now he's winning games for you. The same thing, Quick changed out his quarterback because Humphreys wasn't doing well. And he's been on a roll at the end of the day.
Yeah.
All right. Just want to quickly talk about that. But going back to the season, Um, do you think it was a season that it's fallen the way you guys predicted, or are there surprises that you see? Because I have a surprise on one of the
Oh yeah,
conferences.
yeah. We can
got
just
a
go through
handful of
every.
surprises
Yeah,
here.
we can go through every division if you want, Clay.
All right, we'll do that. We'll start with the AC North. Toronto at 9-2, Harlem at 8-3. Red Zone, you're here, right?
I just text him.
I let him
He's there. He's there in the chat. I see him. I see him in the group here, but haven't heard him yet.
Oh, he just said he's having audio issues.
Okay, Rochester's 4-7, and North Plain 3-8.
I don't really see any surprises there myself.
Nope, I thought Toronto would win that one, and I thought Bob would at least come in second.
Yep, would be competing.
How were you still?
He needed a couple of seasons on that cohesion, but
Yeah, no, that's not surprising to me.
Yeah, I saw the same thing as well.
Well, what's funny, Clay, is Bob was getting real fucking frustrated early on in the season, and he's like, what was he, 2-2, and just fucking quit this game. I'm like, come on, dude, you get your shit together, it will fucking come back to you, and look at him now, he's like 8-3, but I was just laughing at that shit. I'm like, Bob, we're like 3 games into the season, brother. You don't got to fucking quit yet.
That's right.
I can
That's
understand
right.
being frustrated when things don't make sense.
Yeah, well, a lot. Yeah, well, that's
That 0-29 against Gothenburg. I mean, anytime he gets smoked, or that 6-55 against Toronto. I mean, it's hard. You got to take a few days worth of venting before you come back down to earth.
Yeah.
It was actually the Gothenburg one
Yep.
that got him.
That's a tough loss.
Mm-hmm.
He game planned for it. He was thinking he had a good chance and a good game plan, and then to just come out and lay an egg. I mean, that's hard.
Yeah, the Gothenburg and the Toronto game, those are heart fucking breakers. They really are. I mean, every game that I play, if I didn't get my ass kicked, even in losing, I can say, okay, well, I lost, but I only lost by 3 points, or I lost by a touchdown. But those games where you can't score and you get beat by 30 or something like that, it's just like, fuck. It makes you not want to play the game. And then you go through your game plan and you look at the logs and go, what in the fuck did we do wrong? And most of it's just terrible dice rolls. You get a fumble, you get a fucking interception, a punt return against you, that type of shit.
Was T-Sac taking a vacation and loses his first 2 games and then comes back and just rallies off 9 wins?
Yeah, I think he said he was traveling for something a couple weeks ago, because he wasn't, like, the first few games, it didn't seem like he was in the forum posting it all, and then all of a sudden he's back and winning. He's won 9 straight, so...
Yep.
All right. Next up is AC South. We have San Antonio, C-Max, your team sitting at 7-4, first place. Fort Wayne, 5-6. Houston, 4-7, which is a shocker to me. And Atlanta, 3-8.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see the division stacked up like this. I mean, I thought for sure Houston would be able to take the division again, although they got rid of their quarterback and brought in Mays, and
he's not playing as well as he was.
Yeah, he's not doing so great. Atlanta, I mean, I don't know what's going on there. They got a good team. He's just struggling there.
Well, it's Wilkerson. Wilkerson's over on Harlem now, so Atlanta doesn't have Wilkerson. Yeah. Houston didn't have Jamison Ward, and even Zach commented in the forum asking about, man, I'm surprised he got rid of Ward after he kicked ass last season. And bada bing, bada boom, switches quarterbacks, and this is what he has now.
Yeah, and as far as me, I wasn't obviously expecting to lead the division. I thought we'd be 8-8 this season, and with 4 of our last 5 on the road and the 1 home game against Oakland, I mean, we technically might still end up 8-8. But as of right now, it's looking okay.
Don't jinx it. You can always end up there.
Yeah, I mean, it's entirely possible. I mean, especially tomorrow I'm going to have to go without being able to turn in a game plan. So,
and Soka's not playing well.
Hopefully, I'll still be able to beat Bordeaux. What's that?
He's not playing well this season for you.
Osha?
So yeah.
Yeah, he's. I mean, he's not doing terrible, but he's not doing near as good as he has the last couple seasons. Some of that's just crappy wide receivers. Some of it was, suspect game plan. I'm not getting any help from my running game. I mean, it's the same shit as last season and the season before. My O-line sucks. My running backs can't run the ball, and my secondary is terrible. I did address part of that by grabbing Doss, in the draft, and he's been good. But the problem is that nobody's throwing the ball his direction, so all of the passes are going to my shitty cornerbacks, and they're not doing well.
But you are putting up 30 points per game. That you are doing. You're
Well,
ranked 3.
Yeah, there's a handful of defensive touchdowns in there and a couple of return touchdowns. I mean, so, Sosha's still, at this point last season, I think he was, he had a few more touchdowns than he does this year. But, I mean, I can't complain. I thought we were going to be pretty ugly this year, and it's been better than I thought it would. But our defense, I mean, offensively, we're scoring a lot of points, and with the defense helping, that's great, but we're still giving up a ton of points.
I was shocked with Houston, by the way. I thought they were going to be much better.
Yeah. Well, I'm not surprised that their offense went down a little bit, but their defense should be better. I mean, because he didn't have any huge changes there that I can think of. But his defense is playing poorly, just like mine and Atlanta.
Yes, it is. We're going to go through who we think are going to make the playoffs once I go through all the conference. Let's go to AC East, guys. You got Tucker at 10-1, Snapfinger at 6-5, Augusta at 5-6, and Orlando at 5-6. Another division that is upside down. But anything here?
Yeah, I don't think it's all that upside down, to be honest. I mean, Tucker, obviously, that's no surprise at all. But really, I mean, Snapfinger's been, Sepper's been, putting a lot more, I think, effort in, and Augusta. I mean, they're none of them are doing terrible, but I mean, I think they have a really competitive division for second place, and I think that'll stand for a while. I think all three of them are capable of playing well enough to get the wild card spot. I mean, but I think until Tucker's, quarterback retires in 12 seasons.
And then he'll just bring another quarterback.
Yeah, well, hopefully it won't be 1.1.
Snapfinger, by the way, let me put up his team again. He's got his quarterback playing very well, and he was doing so well, and then I forgot what part he fell off a little bit. Because he was, 5-1 or something?
I think he started trying to run more.
Is that what it was?
I think to begin the season, wasn't he passing pretty heavily, and then he started trying to run more, and it kind of went downhill a little on him.
And then Augusta, which I thought he would be more competitive, he also fell off as well.
Yeah, he's on a 3-game winning streak now, though, so maybe he's put up 37, 30, and then 37 the last 3 games, so, maybe he's figured out the game plan that's going to work for him, and he can make a good push here at the end of the season. He started off, 2-6, so to be at 5-6 now, I mean, I think he's got it working now, so we'll see.
Yeah. He did it one time. I forgot, it was maybe 4 years back, where he just had a slew of wins and he walked away, I think, 10-6, something like that.
Yep.
And then last,
yeah, he could do that again.
We have the AC West. We have
you guys are just did AC East. Snapfinger, he's got to come back, man. He's got to freaking come back.
Yeah, we were just talking about him.
He just was doing so good.
Snapfinger and Augusta both. I mean, they're. But wasn't it Snapfinger that didn't he pass heavy the first 5 or 6 games, and then he started trying to run more, and it kind of has gone off the rails for him?
I don't know. But I know his running back's doing okay. He's got 800 yards, 4.6 yards per carry. But so he won. 4 of the first 5, so he was 4-1 at one point.
Let's see. Well, he had a couple of down games with the quarterback, but now he's in the last 4 games. I mean, 400 yards, 270, 398, 307. He hasn't thrown an interception in the last 5 games.
Yep.
Huh. Well, there's no reason that he can't turn it around.
because it's going to be interesting how this plays out. Because we'll do the last division, but you can see how that last wild card spot is up in the air.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question that Harlem's in the running for the first wild card spot. But that other one,
It's 5, 6, 7 teams maybe going for that last wild card spot. So this week coming, it's going to be interesting how it plays out. But we'll jump down to the AC West, where we have Mass Lewis at 7-4, Gutenberg at 6-5, Bordeaux at 2-9, and Paris at 1-10. Anyone want to take it from here?
I'm just surprised he's getting it done with Tanner. I mean, 17 touchdowns, 18 interceptions, almost 30 sacks already. He's sticking with them, and he's winning games, but man, that's just ugly. Some ugly wins.
yeah, and I'm fairly surprised that Gothenburg's not leading the division there. But I mean, when you look at it, I mean, he's not playing bad. I mean, he's 278 points for, 177 against him. His defense has been playing great. He's just been getting unlucky. Lots of close games or close losses, I should say. Lost by 2, lost by 1, lost by 6. Last couple of games, lost by 6, lost by 7. They've all one-score losses.
It is interesting because his defense only allows 16 points per game.
Yep.
And he's 6-5, which it is shocking.
Yeah, I was surprised. We beat them yesterday, and that was a shock to me. I thought that would be the game that proved that Michelli was a fluke, but he came in and played solid. So,
Any surprises in that division, by the way?
no,
Just that
no.
Gothenburg's not leading it.
Yeah, I thought Gothenburg would be leading at this point. Mass Lewis second, and Bordeaux and Paris rounding out the bottom. Bordeaux sticking with his. Well, no, he's had both of them play. Henson. Oh, Henson got injured though, didn't he?
He did.
He got turf toe or something like that.
Yeah, turf toe. Yeah,
So he's out
which
for the
is
year.
never a good thing.
I got your turf toe right here.
How you doing, Riz?
Gross.
Hey, what's up, Bob?
Hey, Grim.
Hey, Bob.
And Paris struggling with his quarterback at Lindsay. So if he gets
What's up,
first
Howie?
pick, I guess he'll pick
going on, Bob?
a quarterback.
Well, Lindsay.
Well,
know.
I mean, don't you have to
There's
go
no-
back a ways? Didn't Paris trade the guy that you have, Clay?
Yes.
Ike.
Okay,
Yep.
so I mean, this all is a revolving door here. You don't trade players like that. You just don't.
Nope. You trade 4
this-
players
yeah.
like that if someone's dumb enough to move them.
And you're like, okay, so Paris traded Eichhorst to Clay, and Jazik traded what's his name, Half Bill to Hanalei, and then Kornick hits free agency, right? And then he goes to Oakland. I mean, none of these teams should have these players. Sorry, Clay, you shouldn't have Eichhorst.
Yeah.
Yep. And Ben
None of
shouldn't
this
have
should
his.
have happened,
Ben
okay?
shouldn't have his young
And
quarterback
this is
either.
but this is what Juggernaut gets so angry about. He's like, we come on here and we talk about this shit. Nobody's paying any attention. Nobody's listening. They just keep, we're not doing this dumb shit, trading 1-4 for a 7th or 8th year receiver and a bunch of garbage late round picks or late in the round. I mean, trading the number 1 pick, Ben. Let's give Ben the best quarterback in the league. He's already the best offensive GM, except maybe for T-Zach. Let's give him the best QB too. I mean, hello McFly. Is anybody home? I mean,
Well,
stop
so
doing
this
shit.
so this begs the question: who's to blame for that? Is it Ben and T-Zach to blame for going
No.
up to a
Nope.
GM and saying,
No,
"Hey, I'll give you
it's not
3
their fault.
first round"?
It's not Ben. I'm sorry. It's not Ben's fault because he's trying to build the best team he can build. That's not his fault. It's not T-Zach's fault because he's trying to build the best team he can build. It's the GM that doesn't stop and say, hey, wait a minute. I got pick 1-4, and Ben and T-Zach have both sent me trade offers now. Gee, I wonder why that is.
Yep. Well,
That's the guy
exactly.
who's
If you
involved.
if
Sorry.
if you got a Ben and a T-Zac asking you, or a Melkpo asking you to trade a pick to him, there's somebody on that board that you need to stay there and pick. You need to figure it out. You need to figure out who it is they're looking at and stay there and pick them, because if they want your pick,
And
there's
guess
somebody
what?
there that shouldn't be there.
And guess what? You can lose without making a trade. Why are you going to let them win after you make the trade? If you can't figure the guy out and you screw it up, at least they don't have the pick.
Yep. And if you pick the guy and can't make him work, I mean, you can always trade him down the road if you want to.
Sure.
But then as long as it's not an Eichhorst or a half bill or.
But I mean,
Honestly, I mean, if Ben or T-Zac or Melko ask you about any player or pick, don't do it.
But this is a revolving door. It keeps going around and around and around. It's like when you go out one of these big office buildings downtown in Pittsburgh. They got these round doors that you go out, you push, you just keep on walking. I'm sure everybody's seen one. That's what we're doing. We're going through that door. Only you're not leaving the building. You're coming right back in.
Yeah, just circling around.
I mean, you had Eichhorst, and now you need a quarterback. Okay. I had $1 million. I burned it last night. Now I need more money. What?
No, I can't answer why he.
Well,
traded him.
and you can, obviously hindsight's 20/20, but you can always look back on these things too and say, okay, what did you do with those picks you got from them? Oh, nothing.
But you're not going to be able to do anything because they're going to be in the 25 to 20, 28 or 28 to 32 range. You don't get
Yeah, well, that's why
there.
when I think, when he was saying that he got 2 first-round picks, it's like, well, when it's the guy that's going to pick at the very end of the first round, I mean, it's essentially you got a couple of 2.1s. Would you have traded that pick for 2 seconds? No. And that's what you did. You traded it for 2 early seconds, essentially.
He got 2 futures and didn't get 132 this year. I mean, what's that about?
Yep.
Hey, like I said, I don't want to beat anybody up, but it's like you're just knocking your head against the desk here, bang head here. I mean, what we keep talking about the same things, and the reasons are obvious. I mean, what's it going to take? And we've said 100 times, if you don't know, somebody go on the forum. Somebody's online. Send them a PM. Hey, can I ask your opinion about something? Most people will tell you what they think. Most people will be honest with you.
Well,
Yep.
the question
Yep.
would
And quite honestly, go ahead.
Go ahead, C-Max. And I'll say my thing after.
No, go ahead. I was just going to ramble on. Go ahead.
No, the question is which you have to ask GMs, why are you making this trade? Most of them are going to say, because I believe this value is going to help my team. I said this before. So in their head, they're saying, I will give this away because I'm going to get this that's going to help my team at the end of the day. Because that's what they believe. That's why they're only doing that deal. If they didn't believe that, they wouldn't do the deal. So.
Well, I think Jug said it perfect in one of his responses recently. You never trade away the ability to pick up a 70 rated weapon, wide receiver weapon, for
quarterback, yep.
2, 3, 4, 50 rated linemen or defensive linemen. I mean, it's never an equal trade off. I mean, that 75 rated wide receiver is going to do more for your team than a handful of middle of the road offensive
40 and 50.
And I agree with you on that. Absolutely.
Clay, let me ask you this.
Yes.
We're no longer in the same division, so we can trade now.
Yes.
I think that's awesome. Okay, I'll give you what's it going to take for me to get Eichhorst? You going to trade him?
Absolutely not. Why would I do that?
So if I offered you 4 first rounders, you wouldn't trade him?
No, because of it depends on what year he's in. So I'll take that back. What I just said.
Okay, but
yeah, I was
you're
making
my point.
a little older.
Like
this is a player
he's if you came to me next season right now and said you give me 4 first rounds for Ike, I would say yes, you can have him.
Okay, but at some point when a guy's rated that high, unless he is really getting older, okay, you just don't trade them. You're making my point for me.
Correct. But the reason why I would trade him is because I'll take your 4 first round picks And anything else I can bundle up, and I'll get the next hottest quarterback or wide receiver.
Yeah, you'll make
With
the Ben, you'll make the Ben move.
Yeah, I'll just bundle everything up to make it enticing for somebody else I can trade with. That they'll say,
But
you
but
can
you're
have
not
them.
planning on taking those draft picks and picking 4 players and getting better, which that's my point.
Oh no, yes, I'm looking to take
You're just going
most
to go
of it.
chase a younger Eichhorst.
Yes, I'm trying to get back up to the top 5 pick with those picks. So if there's a quarterback or wide receiver sitting at 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5, I'm taking your picks, red zone, and I'm going to the guys up there and saying, I'll give you this. Let me get that wide receiver, or let me get that quarterback.
I just think, like I said, you asked the question, Paris needs a QB. Why? Because they traded Eichhorst. Fort Wayne, does he need a QB?
Yep.
Why?
Yep.
Because he didn't draft
Cushman.
Brady, or traded Cushman.
Because he traded Cushman.
One or the other. I mean, Iowa is playing a little better, but he gave away 2 guys that are infinitely better than the guy he's got now. Who else are we going to talk about?
Well, most of the times when you make a trade, right, you think about it next time. For instance, Chicago, GM, Zappa, he's going to think next time about making that trade.
Oh, he is. I definitely think he's been learning and listening and paying attention. There's no doubt about that. He sees what happened.
Yeah, he actually changed some things. He's been
And I
scoring
fully
points
believe-
lately.
I fully believe that Waite in Paris and Slam in Fort Wayne have also been paying attention and seen what happened. So, the next time this goes around, they're going to be like, nah, you got me last time. And it ain't going to happen twice. I got a feeling these people are paying attention. That's what Jug doesn't see. They do see. But it's had to come full circle. We're talking about
That's
what?
good. Well, we're going to
14?
we're going to talk about your conference with CMAX. What do you guys, and I'll start with you, Red Zone. Give me your 4 playoff teams and your division winners, I meant, and your 2 outside teams that are going to make the playoffs in your conference only.
That's tough because I played around too long trying to make I got a new computer. I was trying to make the audio work and it wouldn't. I called in on my phone. So let me pull the game up real quick. It's going to be pretty easy though. You're going to have Toronto. Tucker. The bottom one's a little difficult. Who's going to win that? Mass Luis or Gothenburg? That's a little tough to call. And Houston, boy, did they miss what's the guy's name? Jamison Ward? Whew.
Yep, that's him.
Did they miss him or what? That's a totally different team. Their defense isn't that bad. They haven't changed there. Their offense has really struggled. Let me see here. Standings. Well, at the moment, it sure looks like old Chris has got control of that division, doesn't it?
Yep.
I would say Toronto, San Antonio, Tucker. Let me see schedules. That's Luis has to play Augusta, Chesapeake, Paris, Williamsburg, and Gothenburg. That's a tough schedule there. They could lose 4 of those 5. They could win them all, but I'm saying there's 4 tough games there. And what's Gothenburg got? Houston, Frederick, Bordeaux, Brooklyn, and Mass Luis. I'm going to say Julio comes back and wins that division just based on the strength of schedule remaining.
Yeah.
But depending on what Snapfinger does, I think whoever doesn't win that division gets 1 wild card. And I hate to jinx myself here, but I think at the moment I'm looking like I might get the other one. So
Remember, there's no such thing as jinx. That doesn't exist.
Okay. Talk to me about last year's predictions. Well, I think I can go 10-6. We'll be 2 games better. Sure, yeah. We'll be 6-10. I had it backwards. I had the numbers right. I just had it backwards. That's what it is.
All right, we're going to talk about jinx. Let's see how much this jinx works. You, on the 3rd or 4th week, were telling me and Grim that you can't understand what's going on with your team. And now look at your team. You're sitting at 8-3.
I'll tell you what's going on with my team. I got rid of Levi Dodge. I'm telling you, I don't know what it is. Okay? I have no idea how to explain it. But these bad throws. If you're losing games, go into your box score and scroll down where it gives you the passing distance breakdown. And there's QB stats there. And in those stats, it shows you the number of bad throws. And when your quarterback gets, a 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, okay. When he gets to 6 or 8 or 10 in a game, there's a problem somewhere. And I'm telling you, if you pull up box scores, you'll find games where Levi Dodge, I believe there was one game he had 10. And I'll bet there's a bunch that he had 6 and a few that he had 8.
Well, we talked about it last time, and you brought this up. You said you're going to put Wilkinson in, you're going to bench Dodge, and he's just been winning games for you, Wilkinson. Look at this. 19 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 7.42 yards per attempt.
But it gets even better. Pull up his individual game stats. He's only got 2 games all year under a 90 QBR. And one was 75. That was a blowout loss. The other one was 32.7 when Tezak disassembled my whole offensive line and left him laying on the field. That's 2 losses. The third one was to Chris, San Antonio. He had 97 QBR that game. He just couldn't throw the second TD to win.
And I can't believe Atlanta gave this guy up because he did well in Atlanta too, as you can see.
Well, I started looking. We're getting to the end of preseason. And, you only have so long. You have to get everybody under contract. You can only make extension offers, through week 1. Okay, so what's available in free agency? Do I want to sign these people or not? What else is out there? Do I want to make any last-minute adjustments? And I'm like, wait a minute. Here's Donnell Wilkerson and Dakota Peterson sitting in free agency. I had a hard time picking. I decided to go with Wilkerson. Higher avoid interceptions. And once we got rolling, I said, you know what? If something happens to him, give me Peterson too. What the hell? Nobody else seems to want him. They're both sitting there. And Levi Dodge, he's upset. You know what? I'm upset too. How many games did you cost me the last 2 years? With these bad throws. Because Wilkerson, all he does is win.
Yeah, it was a good pickup. Again, I'm shocked that Atlanta let him hit the free agent market. I know you said it might have been money, but you pay your quarterback if he's winning for you. Yes?
Well, I paid him 18 for 1 year. What if he wanted, 4 years, $280 million? You're going to pay him that?
Are you asking me that question? If he's winning games for me? Absolutely.
I'm not paying him $70 million a year. He can walk next year.
If he's winning
Forget about it.
If he's giving you these stats, red zone, and he's winning you games, you're not going to pay him that? Why not?
I don't see that happening. No. Not at his age. He's going to want a long-term contract. At that kind of money, no.
Which he's not going to ask for that kind of money because he's 33. But let's say
he asked for $40 million.
Yeah, $40 million.
Let's put it this way. I'll go find another free agent. Remember Brady Spencer?
Yes, I remember.
He was a free agent. Maybe I'm better off just taking the guys off the scrap heap. I don't know.
Hey, if it works.
I'm paying Socha $100 million. And that's painful, but
$100 million a year.
Yep.
Wow.
That's what it took to keep him, and he's been the whole team for so long now. I didn't have a choice. I had to do it.
Okay, but see, that's kind of a skewed number. What's the cap, like 600 and some? Where is it? It's in here somewhere.
Our cap?
It is, yeah.
We're at
628.8.
Yeah.
Okay, so
He's 20%.
100 million is
15%.
less than 1/6 of that. So it's way down. It's what's that? 15%?
15, 18, something like that.
That's not that bad. I mean, a normal league that doesn't sim 6 days a week and isn't in 21-17. Okay,
Yeah, I wouldn't pay him that in
insane.
RZB, for instance.
Right,
No
that
way
would
I
be
could do that in
insane.
RZB. Yeah.
Okay, but in IHOF, 100 million, I guess, isn't quite the same thing. But it sounds like such an insane amount of money.
Oh, it was
Oh.
painful regardless. It was like, oh, fuck. Oh, man. I'm really going to push submit. Ah.
I don't know.
I did it.
Howie, would you pay somebody 100 million a year?
He's
Did
muted.
Howie
Yeah,
leave?
no, sorry, sorry. Would I pay someone $100 million a year?
Yeah,
Yes,
You see, he would, and he should.
I would. I would.
Okay.
I wouldn't pay. I wouldn't pay Rufus Soka $100 million a year.
What? You son of a bitch. Why not?
no, Chris, this is psychological warfare. What he'd do is let him hit free agency so Texans could sign him.
Of course, he'd probably sign for $50 million in free agency.
That's great.
But
I love
let
it.
me. Let me. I wouldn't say if Rufus Soka was on my team, I'd probably sign him for $100 million a year. If Rufus Soka was on free agency, I wouldn't offer him $100 million a year to get on my team. I value the cohesion. So to keep a guy on the team, regardless of his bars, if my passing cohesion's high, if I think that keeping him on is going to win me more games than trying to go find somebody else, then I'm going to pay it. But I won't go out and spend that kind of money on a free agent to bring a guy onto my team. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yep,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
And if he was only getting what he's getting, passing, I don't know that I would have gone that high because he's been good, but he hasn't been like phenomenal as a passer. But he's done so much for me in the running game that I was willing to make the sacrifice and keep him in, and knowing full well that I didn't have anybody else that was going to come anywhere near his production on my current roster.
He's Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, what he has been. I mean, this year he's not running quite as well, but he's a 700 to 1,000 yard runner every year. So he's been my top rusher for like the past 5 seasons.
Here's a killer for
Red
you,
Zone.
Clay.
If Soka was 26 years old, he was on your team, and he wanted $100 million per
Yeah,
year.
I guess at 26, yeah. Not at 33.
No, I know. At 26, would you keep him? Would you sign him, or would you let him go?
I'd bitch about it, but I'd probably do it.
Okay. The reason
And
why
here's the killer for
I
you.
asked that
You ready
question,
for this one?
I asked that question because it was an important question, because it's almost as the same as these guys trading their quarterback away because they don't want to pay him as well.
You're right.
I would never let Socha go to free agency. If I decided I wasn't going to pay him, I'd find somebody to trade him to before he just went to free agency.
Or
I think
trade.
I'd find somebody to trade him to I could not see letting this guy go to free agency because somebody else is going to pick him up and win with him. If I decided $100 million was too much, I would find somebody to trade him to.
So here's one for you, Clay. Explain to me how Donnell Wilkerson was signed in the week 1 sim. No, he was signed in the midweek before week 1. He was on the team week 1, I believe.
Who are we speaking about, Wilkin?
Wilkerson, Mikey.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
How's he the captain?
you got him on week 1. You signed for $18 million.
Yeah. How's he the offensive captain?
Is he your offensive captain?
Yeah, one
Yes.
year.
Yep.
Yeah, he is.
Well, he's the oldest guy and the oldest quarterback on your roster, I bet.
Oh, okay. That was something I wasn't sure about. If somebody
Is that
comes
what
from
that-
another team, does that offensive captain carry over? So, like, they're a captain on somebody else's team for a season, would it still show as 1 year's offensive captain?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's
I
oldest
don't know
or
how
by
it works.
popularity.
I find it really interesting that nobody here was already voted as the captain, and he walked in the door and took the job.
Oh shit,
I,
Chris!
I
I
thought
didn't,
that was interesting.
Hey,
I
quick.
didn't realize Socha only has one.
Yeah,
One
one year is
chemistry.
offensive.
No.
Oh yeah,
one year-
yeah. Well, that's because
Oh.
when I signed Beal, he fucked. I didn't think Beal was going to take over the leadership role. It was supposed to be that Braditich guy that I got, because Braditich got like 90 something,
Yeah.
leadership, 90 something personality, and then fucking I signed Beal and he came in and stole that away.
Yeah, well, that could be why he's not playing as well either. He lost an affinity or two.
Yep. And Bianchi, Bianchi is the leader, but I let him not have the affinity with Social just because he's got such a good affinity with everybody else.
Right.
I think we have Quick on. Quick, are you here?
Hey, fellas, how we doing?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Hey, quick, what's up?
Hanging in. Sorry, I forgot this for a while, but I realized I only missed an hour. You guys are just getting warmed up, right? So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got plenty of time.
Grimmer's not even F-bombing every sentence yet.
Yeah,
You got
yeah, that's
plenty of
another
time.
hour away, man. Then I'll start the F-bombs. So,
Well, they've been there.
We actually talked about your quarterback and Grimm's quarterback and stuff, but we can jump back and you can explain to us your take on it.
I don't think I have anything profound. I came here to listen mostly, but I really don't. I mean, I believe in the superstition that I understand. So, like this business with chemistry and cohesion and so forth. I mean, I've seen it enough that I completely believe that stuff is all happening behind the scenes, and it matters. Even if we can't count and measure it, all that stuff matters. So you all know, like I build my team around that stuff and invest that way. But like, I don't believe there's anything good about this player, like this guy Richie, right? I mean. I'm not going to tell you that I've subscribed to some notion that he's winning games for us because he's got some hidden voodoo that never got documented and never showed up in any paperwork and has never been confessed by the developer or discovered by any of these like Python people who are back-ending everything in the game. So I don't think there's anything to it, but it's pretty fun to just be along for the ride.
Absolutely, because we were speaking about that, your game plan, your team around him, and everything that you put together has helped him play well.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't ask a ton of the quarterback on my offense. I mean, in the rare circumstance where I get an A minus B plus guy rather than my usual C plus guys, then maybe I'll tweak things to have him throw a little more downfield, but. I want my guy throw a lot of 8-yard passes on 1st and 10, and that's a nice thing that you do for a rookie quarterback to get him his sea legs. And I just do it all season long as just a matter of course. So I try and make things easy on my quarterbacks, and then anybody who's playing for me is generally going to have double, triple affinity and lots of chemistry around him. And, this guy's been on my team for 9 years, so he's got a giant bag of cohesion and stuff. I mean, all that stuff helps, but it helps everybody on my team, including the bag of shit he replaced, who, had a lovely career and then decided to just disappear on me somehow.
yeah, I thought that was odd that Humphreys was playing so poorly early on.
Right. I mean, I can't explain how is this guy better than Humphreys on paper. There's no explanation for that, but I don't know. It's been, 15, 18 games now to take a look at, and it's hard to argue. I mean, we're kind of past tiny sample size. After 15 games, I feel like I've seen enough from Humphreys. I can't put him back on the field.
So my guess would be quick that this is
Not
going
when
to
you
be
got
his.
Richie doing what he's doing.
Yeah. But my guess would be this is his last season on the team because he's going to want money next year. And how much are you willing to pay him?
I don't know. Like, I think a good deal of next year's salary is already guaranteed. So he's a 14 season guy. Maybe he'll just retire. That'd be for the best.
Are we speaking about Richie?
Humphrey.
Humphrey.
Oh, no,
is
I was talking about Richie.
Oh,
This is the last year of his contract. How much
Yeah.
is he going to want, and how much would you pay him to keep him?
yeah,
Here we
fair.
go, Red Zone. Would you pay this Richie $100 million?
Over a 15-year contract?
No, sir, I would not.
I don't think anybody would pay this guy, right? I mean, if I have to pay him $8 million, he's not going to want 30, right? But if he wants 8 or 10, I might. I mean, I don't have another good option. I traded for some garbage guy. He didn't look any good, so this is probably my best option for next year. Yeah.
13-1. I don't know. He might want 20, 30 million.
Yeah, I don't know. If he wants 30 million, I think he probably takes a walk, and we'll test the theory with some people increasingly less talented, right?
Well,
I don't need lofty 24 rating, right? Yeah.
No one's going to pick him up because they're not going to do the same like you did with him.
Right.
So they're not going to take a chance.
Yeah,
Hey, Michelli will be available.
Yeah,
That's
no,
right.
It's not even affinity. But no, Zach had mentioned in there quick about Maurice Dyson. He's excited to see what this kid's going to do. So,
Who?
Maurice Dyson, his rookie he got this year, 4th round pick.
Who's rookie?
Mine. I mean, I'm throwing darts, right? I mean, I don't think I have anything in the quarterback room, including Richie. So I threw a 3rd or 4th round pick at a guy who had like a big sense rush, right? And
Yep.
I think he's got
That's
so I think he's potentially has a pretty good avoid interception and nothing else, right? So maybe this dude can run around a little bit and not get sacked and not throw picks. I had a guy a while back who had a pretty solid career with no skills other than that, so I can do that.
Yeah, what's this guy's avoid interception? That's got to be up in the 80s.
It's 65.2 right now.
Yeah, that's
fine.
That's good.
Right. So this guy probably gets to be on my team forever.
Nope.
So this is interesting. Quick question for you. You probably know this. I don't, and I'm not sure if anyone else will either. I have seen this. He wouldn't be the first guy. Sometimes you take a QB who's underdeveloped, not fully developed yet.
Yeah.
And you plug in his numbers in that interception calculator, and he's got a better avoid interception bar now than he will when he's fully developed. Why is that?
Yes, I see that all the time with rookies and younger quarterbacks. As their bars start to fill out, they go down.
But you would think as they get more developed, they'd get better, and that bar would improve too. And sometimes it's not the case. Why do you think that is?
Yeah. No, I'm you stumped the band here. I got nothing on that. I haven't really spent a bunch of time with the back end calculator stuff. I'm grateful for the people who did all the hard work and created an online tool, and every once in a while I'll dash in numbers and have a look at somebody, but I don't have any particular insight into how that works. Some of these ratings are hidden around the margin. If we're talking about 3 or 4 or 5 points on that number varying over time, I would think that might be just attributable. There's more masking in younger players, and it dissolves over a few years. That seems like the easiest explanation there.
I think I've seen
usually there's not huge
points.
swings in those numbers. I mean, usually there's not.
Yeah,
I've seen 10-point swings.
Right. So a guy goes from 50 to 44 over several years. That sounds like it's just the ratings are coming into focus.
Okay.
All right. Hey, we're looking at Sebastian Donaldson here. Leave him up there a second, Clay.
Because that's
He's 1 year offensive captain as well, and just got on the team this year. So quick, we were just asking the question, what parameters does a player need to be your offensive captain? Is it age? Is it popularity? Is it?
Do they put all the names in a hat and have the coach
And the other
pull one
question
out?
I have is that 1 year as offensive captain, could that be from the previous team he was on, or does that only show what he's done on your team?
It's showing what he's on your team right now.
Right. I agree with that. The duration that's shown is how many years in a row the captain has served as the captain on your current team.
On your current team, okay.
Right. So I consider that a counter, sort of like join team for purposes of cohesion and so forth. But no, I don't think I have any unique insight into what the components are to turn guys into captains. I think I have no captain on defense. Like I cut the guy something happened. I think my chits right now are lacking a captain, either on maybe it's on defense right now. I might be confusing it with one other team, but I've seen that from time to time too. It's a mystery to me. I don't invest in it.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I just thought it was interesting because Donaldson, first year on Howie's team, he's captain. Wilkerson, first year on Red Zone's team, he's captain. Rufus Socha just got his first captain appointment this year. So
he's been on my team for 9 seasons.
Yeah, so wonder
maybe
what all
got to
goes into
resim
that.
the last 11 seasons of IHOF to fix this grave problem.
Yeah.
Right?
Sorry, T-Zac, that perfect season, that's going bye-bye, man.
Big asterisk next to it now.
So what we're doing quick, we went over we're going over the divisions.
Yeah.
We started with the AC North all the way down to the AC West, and we're picking the teams that are going to take the division, and we're picking the 2 teams that are going to come in for the wild card. And
Right.
Red Zone, who just picked the teams? Red Zone, correct?
Yep, I did mine.
Yes. And so we're just going around the room right now. But we talked about each division, so we already went through that. And we'll jump to the other side next after we finish this. So, C-Max, you want to give us your division winners and then your wild card?
On which side?
On your side.
Your side.
Your conference.
Well, I think Toronto wins it. I'll pick myself because I at least have the 2-game lead there to win our division. I think Tucker's going to take it. I honestly think Gothenburg's probably still going to be able to come back and take that division. Just he's playing too well. He's just had bad luck. So I think those are the 4 winners. In terms of the wild cards, I think Harlem is a lock for a wild card spot.
Oh, don't say that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm saying that too, buddy.
Honestly, I mean, if T-Zac stumbles, I mean, you could take the division, but I think you're in the wild card. You're going to the playoffs no matter what, in my opinion. So I think you'll take the wild card, and then I think it'll be either Mass Lewis or, well, honestly, it could be Snapfinger or Augusta, but I'm going to go with Mass Lewis. So Mass Lewis will be my wild card, my last wild card there.
Just to throw this out there, Fort Wayne made it last year. You don't think there's any way he does it again?
I don't think at 5-6 he's going to. His defense isn't playing as good as it was last year. I mean, that was kind of what did it for him last year was his defense.
Yeah,
his defense
he's
has been
giving
struggling.
up a lot of points.
Okay.
I mean, no, he's not giving up as many as I am, but I don't think he's going to pull off I don't think he's going to be able to win, 4 of the next 5, to get in there.
Grim, you want to give us your take?
Yeah, I'm probably going to Toronto, San Antonio, Tucker, and Gothenburg, again, because he's got the easier schedule, and Chris is right, I think he's just getting shitty dice rolls because his defense is playing outstanding, so, and then I'm going Harlem and Mass Lewis for the wild cards. I'm rooting for Snapfinger. I'm still holding out hope that he can make the playoffs this year because he's been making adjustments and listening to the advice that he's been given and trying
and
real
he
hard.
has really been improving.
Yep,
Yeah,
he really has.
Playing a lot better.
Yeah, no different than Chicago. After the last post by Jug, Chicago's come out the last 3 games and really put up some points. And, he's writing into form that he's thinking he's figuring a couple things out, and that's good to see. So, but yep, that's what I'm calling.
Quick.
I mean, at this point, is there anything interesting to predict? I mean, is someone calling some sort of weirdo home run that, Orlando's going to come win the division? I mean, we're far enough in the season that, I don't have anything novel to say. Yeah, I think Bordeaux, keep an eye on them, right? No, I mean, it's like this isn't going to be, there's 6 or 7 teams over there that are in some difficulty, so I don't think I have anything unusual to say. I mean, I can pronounce Maslaus, but that's about all I can bring to the table.
Maslaus. That's all he brings to the table. That's it.
Quick. Is that actually how you say that?
I believe so, yeah.
Maslaus. Yep.
I would have thought
Maslaus.
Mass Louise.
Yeah, that's usually what comes out. I try to remember to say Mouselouse, but it just doesn't feel right in my mouth. But that's most words. So.
Standard ugly American.
That's what she said.
I got the fucking mush mouth. So.
I know you know your division winners. You want to give us your 2 wild card winners?
I'm going to say Harlem and Maslaus.
We're all politically correct now. We're going to say Maslaus.
There we go. Yeah.
I'm going to say Mass Lewis.
Mass Louis.
It's kind of like, Clay refusing to say Gothenburg.
Yeah.
Oh,
say
quick!
Gutenberg.
No, the question I keep wanting to ask: how do you pronounce?
Every time you say their name, it makes me think of Police Academy.
How do you say Gutenberg? Yeah, Steven Gutenberg.
I call it
Steve
Gutenberg.
Gutenberg.
Why-
I call it Gothenburg. But quick, how do you say Matt's real name? Is it Matijas?
Mateos?
Yeah, it's
Mateus?
closer to Matthias.
Mateus?
It's closer to that. I'm not doing it quite justice, but he and I have spoken on the phone a few times, and yeah, he's tried to coach me, and I've done my best, but I can only
Because
make
I
it
know, I know the last three letters are IJS of his name.
Yeah,
so it's like Matijus.
It's like a weird
Mattias?
abbreviation too. It's
Okay.
like one of those, every once in a while you see like the AE or the OE sort of blended into one vowel blend because our English language character set doesn't have the right letter for it.
Yeah, and I thought
that
at one point he had said, I thought at one point he had said that his first name had 20 letters in it or something like that. I'm like,
I think it's something along those lines. So it's like diacritical combination transliteration challenge. It's too much for me, man. I can't.
Yeah, and Grimmer, I think that's kind of one of them, like silent J's are Hispanic.
No, it's not
not a J. There's no J there.
I've even heard people call him Matt. I think it's just a case where he's such a great guy. Nobody wants to butcher his name. We're trying to be respectful.
Yeah,
I call him Matty J.
There you go. That's good.
Or call him Merchant Man.
I love it. That's what I call Merchant Man. All right, so we have that side all now nailed down. Now for our conference over here. NC North, we have Arizona sitting at 6-5, Kansas 6-5, Iowa 4-7, and Chicago 2-9. I gotta say, I've been impressed with Chicago, even though they lost those games. They're putting up points, like Grim said, 30 points. What was it, the last 3 games? Or 2 games?
31, 34, and then 21, and he only lost that to you by 3.
So whatever he's doing, he's changing his stuff around. But next season, he'll get there.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's got his running back running real well. Harvey Moore, Tomlinson's playing okay. He's still got too many interceptions, but I think he's figuring that out. And he figured out how to work Bankston because, man, he's got over 1,000 yards now. And that's the receiver that he got for the trade.
But the real team up there is Arizona, by the way. Millman has turned around his team.
Think what would happen if he got himself a stud receiver.
Yes, I agree.
Oh, no, Horner's developing very nicely. But
if he got a stud receiver, that development would jump.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, I can guarantee you it's on his list.
Oh, he's going to get one sooner or later, Clay. It's just a matter of time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I agree.
Yep, it's on his list. But outside of that, he's built a great roster and took what Rick had and added to it, and he's doing real well.
Yeah, our division is going to be a cutthroat division, and even Jay-Z, he did something. I don't know why he's falling apart right now, but he was doing well in the very beginning.
Well, it was Owens, his quarterback, Efrain Owens. He was playing real good at the beginning of the season. Now he's got 17 interceptions, 14 touchdowns. I think his completion percentage went down a little bit. Because, he came out of the gates with 4-1. Now he's only won one game in the last fucking 5. So.
And then we have my team, which has been playing awful.
My
quarterback has just been shit. But I changed my game plan, which I told Red Zone and Grim.
He was going to run more.
I was going to run more. And my last 2 games, I ran more.
Not good.
Not good, but it throws the other team off.
It does.
The other GMs off. I have like 30 runs on one of my game plans, so I'm rotating them.
So that first one, though, Clay, the first one that you said you're going to run more, right? Ichor still had 60 attempts.
I know.
381 yards. I'm like, I thought you were running more, but I looked and you actually did, but they were only getting 2 yards a carry, so it wasn't averaging much in yards,
Correct.
I think it adds to time of possession. I think it just kind of slows the game down and maybe takes one possession away from the other offense. I mean, there's a number of things that just reset because you're not just throwing, zing, 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 touchdown, sit down. They're not on the field your defense gets a little more rest. You know, I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but it just seems to help. It helps me anyway. I don't know.
Well, I have Grimm coming up. I have you, Red Zone, right after Grimm. Then I have Millman after that. Rochester in Chicago. So I have it's going to be a tough sled for me to even see if I can even make division right now. The way we're playing, if the new 3 game plans I'm rotating work, then maybe I have a chance of taking that division.
Which game plan are you giving me tomorrow?
I don't know. We will
Bastard.
see.
Although I will say, the last few games, Bob was telling me fucking to stop playing double team, and I stopped playing double team, and I'm still getting passed on, but not nearly as bad.
I hate double teams. That takes, if they throw to anybody except the guy that's doubled, you've taken another player out of the rest of the defense.
Yeah. So I mean,
you better guess right every time, or it's going to hurt you.
Right. Back when Brooklyn only had Ellard, his wide receiver, I used to double, because he's throwing to him 22 times a game. I'm double teaming him every single fucking play, and he's only going to catch, those 6 of those fucking 18 balls.
See, but Quick will tell you the same thing. If you throw to somebody 22 times in a game, you're already hurting your team. I don't need to double team that guy. You're doing it for me.
Yeah. Well, anyways, my point was, the last time I played Jops, I double team Ellard quite a bit, and his Jose Cote wide receiver got me. So I just have to stop double teaming and maybe blitzing a little bit more, seeing what I can do. But yeah, it's worked so far. My last 2 games, I've held them under 300, I think.
All right. Well, Huntley is injured. However, I'm going to play him tomorrow.
Hey, Chris is out. His internet went down. So
okay.
And I'm going to grab some coffee. I'll be right back.
Quick, do you agree with that? If someone's throwing 22 times to one receiver, they're already hurting themselves.
Almost certainly. I mean, I don't know. Maybe some of these game plan wizard dudes have figured out how to beat that. Like, Ben. I think he's to the point now where he doesn't run the same play more than once in a game. He's got a design so that almost never happens. So, maybe he's got his, everything in every separate column organized completely to avoid that problem. But I don't know, if clumsy people like me are doing that, if I throw 15 or 18, 20 times to one guy, they're going to be familiar after about 12 of those for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you don't even need to double that guy. He's doing it for you. I don't use double coverage. I just don't. Never have.
I think the Galaxy Brain play for a long time was actually to double cover the worst receiver. I had a lot of success with that in recent years. I don't do it much these days because I usually don't have a stud corner. But if you have one standout cover corner, single him with the best guy and take 2 hobos and double team the second best guy, and that sometimes was a great recipe. I don't know. I probably still do that occasionally. I don't really change my ways much.
Yeah, I remember back, this is a long time ago, Yoda showed me this. I think it was in 2K4 or 2K7. But you would double the best guy and put your best corner on the second guy.
Yeah. Similar theory. I think I started with that and went to Plan B, and I like Plan B better. But
well, we'll go to NC South. We have Texas at 9-2, which is Howie's on the line. Cap City at 8-3, Outer Banks 3-7, and Mootown at 1-10.
Cap City just won't go away, huh, Howie?
No, they will not.
I saw your post.
Let's go back to my division really quick. Who do you guys think takes that division?
your team should.
I still think you, Clay, only because you have Eichhorst and you have the receivers. If he had a stud receiver, then it might be a really tough call. But I think you've got the edge just because of that. I mean, when you get right down to it, Quick said something on a show a long time ago. I don't know if you remember this, Quick. I said, how do you get better running at running the ball? And you said, you need to get better wide receivers.
Right, yeah, quarterbacks and receivers. It's the answer to every goddamn question, right?
You know, this game revolves around the QBs and the receivers.
I remember that.
It does.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, he said that. I remember
and we all laughed. You know, he's like, I can tell you the easiest way to get better at running the football, get better wide receivers. I just started laughing. Yep, you're right.
Back up the defense. There you go, man.
I just think you have more offensive talent in the key spots that are going to win and lose games. And I mean, it's the same thing when you start talking about, I debate with people what you take in round one of a draft. Impact. People that touch the ball. Those guys win and lose games.
Well, now you have Howie with his quarterback who's making an impact. Cap City turned around his team.
I can't believe.
Yeah, you can't believe what?
Donaldson.
Yeah, well, Howie just said he's finally getting touchdowns that he wasn't getting, but
hey, he's playing great.
They're doing
I can't argue with that.
Again, it helps when you run the ball 30 times a game.
Is there any surprises in that division in the NC South that you see, or is line up just like this that you guys thought?
No, I would have picked. Yeah, I mean that's about where I suspected it to be.
I would have picked Cap City, but at this point, I don't think he can catch Howie.
That's true. At the beginning of the season, I would have picked Cap City because Howie said he's going to be busy as fuck this year and not going to do well. So, when your buddy says, hey, I'm not going to do well this season, you tend to trust him.
Well, you fucked up. You trusted me.
Yeah, I did.
And who takes that division? Still close.
Texas does. What's Howie's schedule?
Yeah, keep it how it is. Texas is playing like an elite team. By the numbers. Like even just that old Pythagorean trick. Like Capital City should be limping at 6-5. They're lucky to be where they are. They do weird stuff on third downs and they have a little bit of voodoo here and there. But I mean, Texas is a far better team. Texas is a serious threat.
Yeah, I
agree.
I think Kansas. I think Texas. Yeah, But those may be your two wild cards. Although when we get to the bottom, there's going to be some competition again.
Well, let's go down to the NC East, where we got Chesapeake at 8-3, Frederick 6-4, Williamsburg 6-5, and Brooklyn at 3-8.
So I'll say this about Brooklyn. When he traded for Cushman, I thought this is a great trade for fucking Jobs. Only giving up, I think, 3 firsts or whatever the hell it was. And I figured all those firsts were going to be late because I thought his team, and I have to go back and look at the history and see what last year was like, but I thought his team was ready to go. He just wanted to get this quarterback. He's got 2 good wide receivers. I know I fucked him on a couple wide receivers this year, which is always pleasant, but I just really thought that he had the team in place to make the playoffs with this guy for the rest of his career. He's 35, so maybe a couple more years with him. But this guy takes too many sacks for some reason. That shouldn't be the case with the Sense Rush that high. I mean, he's getting fucking hurried. He's getting sacked. I don't get it.
Hey, Clay.
Yes.
On a side note,
Mm-hmm.
Howie and Grimmer are both tied with 1 F-bomb so far in the show.
Nice.
Oh no, you've missed
somebody
a
was
few,
talking
dude.
about that in one of the posts on the forum, so I just want to keep a tab on where we're at.
Yeah, okay. Well, you've missed a couple. I'm real sneaky with mine. I'll get them in there whenever I can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
By the way, it must hurt to pay 3 first-round picks for this quarterback, and you sit at 3-8 because I know he must be frustrated.
Oh, I know he is. Missing the playoffs last year as well. It's just
especially looking at the quarterback who's on the top of the division.
Yep.
The Giacomo.
Yeah.
Love that name.
And so, quick. You're sitting at 8-3. You turn your team around after you bench Humphrey, and you went with your quarterback and said, "Screw it."
Yeah, pretty much. So, I mean, I think we've basically wrung all we probably can out of this. I mean, it's fine. I mean, when I was a teenager, I played Dungeons and Dragons with friends, and I remember one of the things our DM had was like a bag that had food in it every morning. And I think he made it land in the hands of our players, so he didn't have to worry about buying rations and other things like that would have been too tedious. So we just had like a bag of everlasting food. far as I'm concerned, Richie DiGiacomo is my bag of everlasting food. Every time I open the game, there's another win. There's no reason for it. It's just like, it's better that way. So,
okay, let me ask you something quick. We talked about this on the last show or the one before. I think it was the last one. And I said, think of it like a car. You go buy a new car, everything works. It's beautiful. And you drive it for 25, 30,000 miles, and now you need a new set of tires, you need new brakes, you need a new windshield wiper. So you take one part off, you put another part in. The rest of the car is fine. It's just that one part you're replacing. Do you think that could be some of what's going on with the Giacomo? I mean, the rest of your team is in place, your system's in place, it's been there, it's tested, it's won, and all he's doing is doing his job?
That's as pretty good a narrative as I could come up with. I mean, I can't improve on that. So it may just be happenstance. Even I don't even know, but it's fine. Like I had expectations of being a winning team this year, and my first 3 or 4 games were awful. And Humphreys was throwing like 6, 7, 8 bad passes a game, just not even giving anybody a chance. So I don't know. I flip a switch, but I didn't have any hopes that things were going to be great. I still don't. Right, I'm a game behind the bye week teams right now, but there's no reason my team should catch either of them, even though we've won 7 in a row. Like, I don't think we're a lock to, what do we got, 5 games left, right? I mean, if we go 3-2, that'd be fine. I'm a nice 11-5. And,
which is shocking because you only put up 212 points on offense.
And giving up 212.
We're not pasting anybody. Like Richie's going out there and we're just winning ugly. It's
no, and then you have 4 away games in a row now at Iowa, at Mauslaus, at me, and at Bordeaux. I could see you winning my game, but that's about it.
Yeah. Right, so I could go 2-3. I could go 1-4 for the rest of the way, and it wouldn't be a shock given what we got taking snaps here. So it's fine. I got a game and a half on the division with 5 to go. That makes us, like, just mathematically a pretty good favorite, but I don't think this team's loaded to win more than one playoff game. If we get a home game against against Cap City or Oakland, somebody like that, that seems like where we're likely to land. I mean, maybe I can win that, but I'm not gonna go into Fairbanks and win, I don't think.
You got Williamsburg now sitting at 6-5, who's trying to get up there as well. And
he's back to Maselli, so you don't know what's going to happen there.
No, we're finally got more points for than against, so I'm happy with that.
I'm still trying to get back there after the 55-6 shellacking we took.
This division that you guys are in is going to be an exciting ending to it. Quick is saying that he's not sure where his team's going to be. Frederick's right there. Williamsburg is right there.
Frederick can make a play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Frederick can make a play. He's got 4 home games coming up. I mean, I hope he loses to Fairbanks and Gothenburg. Then maybe I can beat him at the end. But yeah, he just kind of ran into. He was doing what? He was 4-0. Then he dropped the next 3.
I think Quick still wins that division. He's got a big enough lead.
All right, Red Zone's calling Quick. Howie, who takes on the East?
Oh, I think Quick's going to take it. Chesapeake.
Yeah, still 2 up, and the conference record's way better than everyone else too.
Yeah,
you're saying Quick as well.
Yeah, I would say that. But now, Quick, before we go on, I can't remember if we brought it up on a show or if I was just talking. So you signed Humphreys, my old running back, to a lot of money.
Yeah.
And you didn't adjust your game plan for him. No. The question on everyone's mind was why.
Yeah, running backs don't matter.
No,
I had the money to spend. Really, I mean, it was the main thing. He was like a really high endurance guy, and as I recall, like a high special teams, and had the big hole rack, and had like a whole series of big bars and so forth. But I didn't have my heart set on him transforming my offense in any meaningful way. So
yeah, no, and I see you're kind of doing the same thing with Jonah Lester. He's running really well for you at 6 yards per carry. I mean, that to me says, hey, get him a couple more runs, but. No. We throw the ball out here. That's what we do. Yeah. Nope, that makes sense. That's what I was trying to tell everybody. I mean, like Quick's not going to change his game plan just because he signs a really good running back that can do more than what he's being asked to do. He's not going to change shit. And Humphreys actually, he played pretty well for you, you know.
Yeah, it's fine. Like I have like 5 slots in my game plan where, you know, if I have a do everything running back, he might get all 5 of those slots, and if not, then I'll take the shifty guy and put him over here, and the power guy and put him over there and stuff, and the asthmatic guy with the 4 endurance, he gets a couple spots here and there. But you know, I mean,
Right on.
I pretty much already have this whole thing figured out as a puzzle, and I'm just trying to fit pieces into it.
Right on. That's what I suspected the answer was going to be, and probably what I told those guys when they're going, God, why is he playing Humphreys? He's spending $30 million, like, because he's not going to change his game plan. He's going to just throw him in where he can. So, all right, makes sense.
Yeah.
Then he got mad and pulled a Barry Sanders and retired early.
Yep.
Yeah. I was actually fine with that. Huh? It's okay with me.
Now we have the last division, NC West. Fairbanks sitting at 9-2, Oakland at 7-4, Hanalei 6-5, and Colorado at 6-5.
What a great story for Fairbanks.
A surprise for me, man.
Mm-hmm.
I was.
Good for him.
And what is he doing differently? I mean,
He put
just
it
game
together.
plan?
His quarterback's playing much better.
Yeah, so it's got to be a game plan issue because Washington's just been so up and down for the last fucking 12 seasons. No, he didn't really pick up any pieces on tight end or wide receiver.
So I'm sitting here on my phone without game access. Who was it that made the trade that traded 1-1 and got 1-8 and 1-9? Was it Fairbanks that got 1-8 and 1-9?
Fairbanks, yep.
Is that
So
what
he
started him this season?
Yeah,
Oh, they're rookies.
He received he got a nice tackle, I believe.
Yep,
and
nice left tackle.
and
and
cornerback, or safety.
Cornerback, who's a stud.
But he got 4
Cornerback,
very
Joseph Davison.
strong players that are all starters now, right?
Yep,
Is that what jump started him?
yes. Well, I don't
I
know.
think it might have been.
But his quarterback, look at his quarterback. His quarterback rating all the other times were 75, 70-something. He's now at 100 this season. 23 touchdowns, 3 interceptions only, 6.98 per attempt, 63% completion.
Be an interesting question for him. Did he change his game plan? Did he adjust things there? Or is it just the talent level rose and now the game plan's working better?
Well, it has to have been because it doesn't matter, Bob. All those guys that he's starting 3 rookies this year, all 3 of his first round picks, and then those 2 guys he got from Bordeaux. They're a little older, but there has to be some game plan because he doesn't have the wide receivers to be doing that.
Well, he's running
either.
well.
And he's running real well though too. So
I'm just saying 5 new starters, more talent could be affecting things. Could be taking that old game plan and making it work better.
Well, look at his defense. Okay, we can do that. He's allowed 19.7 points a game. He's ranked number 5. So his defense is much better. He's put up 28 points per game. He's ranked number 4. Almost 29 points per game. So those 2 things will give you a very good winning record.
Sure.
There's a lot of smoke and mirrors there, though. Like there's like that the points per game being low. I think that looks like it's a function of them running the ball a lot and doing so pretty effectively as much as anything. He's plus 14 in turnovers. That'll buy you 2 or 3 wins right there.
Yep.
I mean, part of that is his quarterback has suddenly discovered how to not throw interceptions after 11 years of being mediocre. This guy's like Eli Manning, right? He's going to have a giant mediocre career and 2 huge spikes that you can't explain. It's like, well, they had a 4-man rush that was working, and Tiki Barber was doing this or whatever. I mean, there's no explanation for it, but their smoke and mirrors is better than mine right now, I think.
Howie just took off, boys.
Yeah. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Howie, be good.
Yeah.
Past my bedtime. Good talk.
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you,
Bye,
sir.
And then you have Oakland sitting at 7-4. Who's coming
He
on
struggled
strong.
for a little bit earlier this year. Didn't he start out a little bit rough?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 and 3.
Yeah, he kind of recovered nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a team. He always knows what he's doing, right? He's got a a philosophy. I like it. I think it's a good thing for the league that it's like, okay, buckle up, bring your corners up, bring your safeties up. You know what you get in Oakland, man.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
he's
don't get
gonna
any
run the
quitting
ball.
at all. He doesn't quit. He just takes his team, fixes it, and comes back.
Yeah, no, and with a guy like Kornick at your quarterback, you have the luxury of kind of, well, maybe I'm going to try to pass a little more in this game, or maybe I'm going to stick with my run because he's not running like he normally does. And what's his running in the league right now? He's usually
He's
tops.
He's sitting at his top. His running back, Garlic.
So he's
is at
sitting at number 10.
3.43.
So you usually,
10th in rushes per game.
he's usually top 5,
Yeah, maybe top 3.
Mm-hmm.
So some of that is not winning, right? You spend a lot of the last quarter and a half of games when you're up 14, handing the ball and putting that in the belly of your bruiser.
Yep. Now you're throwing because you're behind.
Yeah, but he's just I talk with him every day almost, but he just doesn't have the running backs he normally has, and his O-line is not usually. It's not where it's usually at right now.
Right,
too.
right.
His O-line's like a big thing. So,
And Hanalei, he, I know.
Well, his QB's still hurt, isn't he?
Got hurt.
Yeah, how many games is he still going to miss?
That's a good question. No, he's back in.
Oh, he's back
Yeah,
already?
he's back. Yes.
Okay, well that was quick.
week 6, and he's out 5 weeks. Was it?
Okay. Well, then he's right there. I mean, it's crunch time.
Yeah, maybe.
And then you have Colorado, who I also think is good.
Yep.
That's a tough division there.
It is. It is. Who do you guys say takes that?
It seems to move. I mean, we used to be the black and blue and the NC East here for a little bit. Once Brooklyn got good and Frederick was all right, then it switched to Fairbanks. And Clay, your division is real tough right now.
What are you guys calling for the NC West?
I got to take Fairbanks. He's got the 2-game lead right now.
Yeah, 2 games with 5 to go is a lot, right?
He's got the conference.
Yeah, he'd have to almost fall apart.
I agree.
I kind of think he takes it. I hate picking against Oakland because I think he's always there, but Hanley's tough to pick against. Same way.
I think Jugs could definitely get the fucking wild card. But even Colorado, if you look at his little running back, he's not running good this year, and he's usually way better than that.
Let's say Fairbanks wins that division. Who gets the wild card?
I would
There's
say
anybody that says if they beat each other up.
I say
maybe
Cap
the teams
City.
up top get it.
Cap City and Oakland will get wild card. It's a tough one.
about
Everyone's
Arizona?
That would
close.
mean that you and Arizona ain't gonna. One of you two ain't gonna make it.
Yeah, that's tough. You got there's a lot of teams struggling for 2 spots there.
Correct.
I kind of think that I guess it depends on the schedule. Do Oakland and Hanalei and Colorado have to play each other? Because they'll knock each other off.
Yes. Oakland plays
Yeah.
Colorado on week 15.
And Hanalei.
And Hanalei in week 17.
Those are home games though, so
So if Oakland wins them both, that takes Hanalei out of the picture. If Hanalei wins, one of them, it's a tough call.
Yeah, it's going to come down to
They
the
go
wire.
round robin and everybody wins one. Hey, you know what? You're going to be looking at tiebreakers.
Yeah, that 6th seed is like if we think Capital City is basically in, then the 6th seed is a really interesting race.
You got Arizona, Oakland, Hanalei, maybe even Colorado. That's 4 teams for 1 spot.
wait, what's Cap City's schedule look like? coming out.
Yeah, but he's 8-3 though.
Yeah.
He has.
So he's got at Hanley, at Orlando. Those could both be losses.
They could.
Then Outer Banks, that could be a loss because it's a division game. And Tony's got a couple things figured out there. I was hoping he was coming back up, but he fizzled out a little bit.
Augusta.
God, then Augusta, yeah, I think he could beat Saw. Maybe not at home, though, because Saw's getting his shit together and he's trying. So Moontown's like the only lock I can see in that. So maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
It's so hard to predict when you're looking at this shit and there's so many games left.
Yeah,
You know?
funny shaped ball.
You
Yep.
have 5 games left. And
So who are we picking? Who's the wild cards?
this one's a tough one.
I mean, we're pretty much in agreement. Fairbanks wins the division.
Well, I said it'll be Cap City and Oakland. However, yeah, that would be my pick. Cap City, Oakland.
I'm thinking Cap City and Arizona.
Really?
I think those teams are going to beat each other up.
Well, I was thinking I might have a chance tomorrow versus Clay, but he's 5-0 at home, so that's.
I hate picking against Oakland, though.
Yeah,
I hate that.
Well, look out for Hanalei. If they get the quarterback back in and get on a tear, they'll show up as the weird wild card with crazy momentum. I don't want,
yeah, exactly.
I don't want them coming to Chesapeake.
Well, hell, he could win the division still. He's not out of that.
Yeah.
You know,
That's a dude right there, man.
God,
What's
Because we're sharing screens, right? I mean, that guy is the goods.
that's
I just-
being elite.
yeah,
Well,
still.
second best now.
we're still not getting the trade for that, but man,
What's Melman's schedule like?
He's got Texas.
so that's gonna Howie's got that. I bet
So he has to go to Texas. He has to go to Rochester.
he can win that.
He's got to come to me. He's got
Yeah,
That's a loss.
He's got Toronto coming
And
to
that's a
him,
loss.
Oh,
and he's got Iowa.
All right, so he's got 2 wins. So
so
what
he's
does that
2-3.
mean?
That makes him what?
Yeah, 8-8.
Ooh. All right, then it is probably Oakland and Cap City. Although Hanaley's still in the mix too. Wow, that's tough.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah,
maybe it's you know what? Maybe it's Oakland and Hanaley if Cap City falters. Jeez.
on both
That's
sides. On both sides of the conferences, the wild card spots are a toss-up. Everyone's going to be fighting for it.
Yeah, and day to day, week to week, you never know what the hell's going to happen. Someone could get an injury and start losing,
That's right.
or someone could get an injury and start winning, like I did. So,
Or like Quick did. He just made a change and the Giacomo come up there and decided to start winning.
yep.
Well, all right, fellas. That's all I have for this.
Yeah, all good.
Oh, come on. We got to go 4 hours. What are you doing?
We'll do 4 hours when you and I play each other, and we can talk about our game.
For 4 hours.
Okay.
Just do a play-by-play.
That's what we'll do. A play-by-play.
I think we could get on the game log and read every play and still wouldn't take 4 hours.
All right. Here's what we'll do really quick. Only the people here will do our games.
All right, call the games.
Yes.
I already sent my file and looked at it in over a day. Who am I playing?
All right, let's go to Chesapeake first because he's up first. Chesapeake's
And
at Iowa.
Pull up that preview.
There we go. Let me bring it down.
Tail of the tape. Chesapeake does not field a competitive team. Red, 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 red.
Yeah, look at that. I was kind of amazed at that myself. Look at all the green on the Cobbers side. The fuck's going on here?
That's it, baby. I got receivers. I do have receivers. So, that's pretty good.
Interesting.
Red, 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 red. Yeah. Chesapeake by 4. I love it. That's my roster construction right there. Outmatched at every position and favored. Yeah, good.
And you'll go out and win 33-10.
Oh man, so who's got the fucking injuries here? Quick, you got everyone in, right?
Yeah,
No major losses.
I'm pretty healthy.
Yep, just a couple probables.
Iowa doesn't have anyone injured.
All right, so god damn, I'm going So the game's got quick by 4. I'm going quick by 4. I'm going to say 21-17 like this game.
It's about the kind of game I've been playing lately. A lot of those.
Yeah.
33-10.
No, really?
Who?
Quick.
Okay.
33-10.
4 picks.
I'm going to call out 17-10. Quick.
I got us winning 8-7 on 4 safeties.
There you go.
In extra innings.
Overtime.
Yeah.
Well, no, so you couldn't do 4 safeties then if it was overtime, but unless he also got 4 safeties.
Right, yeah.
All
That
right.
would be
Next
something.
up is Harlem. So Orlando is going to Harlem.
That's right, Orlando.
Now,
I don't know why. I always have trouble with him. I lost him last year, and it was in the last play of the game or some damn thing.
I'll start it off. Red Zone, I'm taking you to win. And it's going to be 24-21.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that close. He's got too many people running the ball.
Yep.
1, 2, 3. 11 people have run the ball on his team. He's got to be experimenting with something. That's
Yeah, what are we
insane.
doing, man? Is this like a JV squad you got out there?
Right? 11 different people have run the ball on that team. 2 of them
That's
with
crazy.
1 attempt, but it's like, what's going on here?
That's crazy. Must run a lot of reverses.
Yeah, it looks like there's some of that. Some of the wide receivers got some of those, but I got Bob. I'll go Bob 30 to 14.
Ooh, wow.
Nice. I'll take 30-13. That honestly was in my head before you said that. But anyway, I'll go prices right on
That's
you.
probably
I'll go-
why my brain was scrambling over here trying to think of something, because your brain's going, man, we're doing the same thing.
Red
I'll
Zone.
say 27-14.
Okay. Then we go down to the next team. It is... Oh, it's us.
Oh, there we
Yes.
go. Yeah.
Grim.
Who is it?
Grim is coming to town to me.
Oh, wow. 2 guys that are on the show. Head to head. Ooh,
Yes.
man.
How is it I have better receiver, Clay? What?
Oh, my main receiver is out. He's not in my lineup right now. I got to put him
Well,
back in.
You can't. He's got a sprained shoulder.
Yeah, I still play him.
I know you do because I saw he was active. Fuck him. He can't do shit. He's going to get hurt again. So you should probably take him out of the game before I hurt him again, because I got a lot of punishing hitters on my team. If you don't know it.
That's fine. That's fine.
Bring
All
it
right.
on.
So I have not beat you at home at your place, and every time we play, we're always at your place. But I'm gonna fucking play you hard. God, this could go either way. We could shoot it out. I got you 27-24. Kansas wins.
I think it's going to be a close game, too. I'm going to call 21-17, and I'm taking Kansas, my team.
Yeah, I like Kansas a little lower scoring, but yeah, 17-10.
That means I'm not going to do shit. With my offense, they've been playing pretty good.
I'll say 28-24 Kansas, but I like Grimm's defense. If it gets into a defensive struggle, it could go his way.
All right, fellas. We call the games. Tomorrow's a game. We'll wake up. I know Quick's going to wake up with a smile saying, let's see what my guy did again.
Yeah, baby.
Let's
Yeah,
see the bag of tricks
I'm
and voodoo.
having the same feelings with my Chelly dude. Like, as soon as fucking Christensen got injured, the kid, I'm like, season's over, man. This guy can't play, and he's just surprising me every fucking week.
Well, that's gonna end because I don't believe in voodoo or any of that stuff. I believe
But
in science.
me and Quick actually have voodoo on our teams. We have the affinities.
Yeah, there is
we have
that.
the kumbaya. We have that. You don't. Well, you have some affinities on your team, but not as many as us. So I'm just trying to get back to Quick levels of affinity. I've been doing all right with that the last few seasons. So,
All right. Anything else?
all right, boys.
All right. I will end it here, fellas.